Hello, I'm Brigantia Blackbird of Blackbird's Brew. Happy Wednesday and welcome to Journey Through the Runes. It's time to take a look at the first rune in our series, Fehu, which is part of Freyasson or Freyasson, depending upon who you ask. It also correlates to the letter F in our alphabet. Its literal meaning is cattle. Now, in ancient times, cattle were also a measure of wealth. So in divination, Fehu often appears in conjunction with financial matters or circumstances that can affect your prosperity or lack thereof. Also, if you cast your mind back to the Norse creation myth, it was Adelhamla, who was a primordial cow who actually fed the giant Ymir, which also, of course, led to the creation of everything else. So putting those two concepts together, I see the core of the energy of Fehu as relating to the source of nourishment, wealth, and all other things that sustain life, coming from the very womb of creation itself. The commentary I've come across when studying this rune has been a common thing of bringing something about through your own efforts. That Fehu is also about the reward for work and having the means to protect the fruit of that labor. That in and of itself warrants some meditation. What is success? How does it come about? And are one's energies truly focused upon that path? Or is someone merely wishing to reap the benefits of success without putting in the work? As this is the first stave in the Futhark, sometimes this rune can also signify a beginning. One of my books of runes also associates the idea of fire with this rune. Fire, as we know, is a catalyst, and Fehu can also be a catalyst for us when we are moving into a new chapter in life, or just plain getting down to work and being productive, get something done. Fehu also relates to ambition. What do we want? Why do we want it? And once we achieve our aims, what comes next? What are the repercussions? And are we on to the next step? Do we have the drive to set out and accomplish something worthwhile? So when Fehu comes out in a rune reading, it isn't just a simple matter of getting out the rune book and consulting its entry and looking at its meaning, memorizing that meaning, and just neatly fitting it into this little box, and poof, you have insight into your situation. Context is everything with the runes, and there's going to be a lot of nuance. Sometimes these readings feel like each rune is part of a sentence, one word of that sentence, and you have to take in the whole sentence to truly understand the message. Now, for example, if you had a reading to do that it's dealing with your household or your marriage or family matters, the fertility aspect of this rune might take on greater significance. Perhaps the family is about to expand, or this is a good time to consider having a child. But again, look to the other runes in the spread. What is the overall feel, and how does the concept of Fehu fit into that? Now, let's say that Fehu comes up, and the rest of the runes you pulled all point to something to do with your spirituality. The first question is, do your instincts tell you that Fehu is coming up as a sidebar, drawing your attention to something that's important even though it didn't relate to your query? Or are you being encouraged to examine the state of your spirituality? Is it alive and fertile and rich? Or is it like a dormant field in winter? Is it sleeping? Is it barren? Are you evolving? Or is it time for you to give your spirituality renewed attention and effort? Another tricky reading with Fehu might involve doing an analysis on the results of your choices. Did the cost of previous choices get made up for by the results of them, or are you worse off? In this context, Fehu could be considered a sign of success, or could indicate a pathway to success, depending on what the surrounding runes are saying, or it could represent what you are longing for but haven't gotten yet. Already, just by looking at this first rune, I think it's pretty obvious that interpretation is going to be much trickier than it is in other forms of divination, such as tarot. So we are in for an interesting ride, Gring. And next week we will take a look at the rune Uruz. So definitely come back for that. In the meantime, questions, thoughts, concerns, leave them for me in the comments section or come see me on Gilded. There's a link to join Blackbird's Brew in the description box. It is, of course, free of charge. It is open to all pagans or those who are non-pagans but just want to respectfully learn from us. And absolutely come on in, start a conversation, and we'd be happy to have you. But that'll do it for now, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.